Yo, 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 what is going on, people? Welcome to Throw Down Your Questions, episode 188, the AMA special. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and I'm joined by Emilio Lopez. I'm going to do that again. And Emilio Lopez.
Cookie Puss.
Chris Seeley.
Sucker Free Monday, people.
Carlos Romero.
Hey, people.
And Brett Burdock.
What's up, everybody?
All right. Yeah, I forgot to unmute you, Manny, so we did that once more, but it's all good. All right, so we're going to do something different because we got to make these numbers right for the show. So this 188, so we're going to actually answer some pre-canned questions here, and hopefully people join in. But the whole point of tonight's show is you ask us whatever the fuck you want.
It is all about y'all out there this time around.
The people.
The people.
By the way, speaking about accents, does he doesn't really have a Queens accent, that motherfucker, you know? Trump, he's from Jamaica, Queens.
That is bullshit.
that's what he said.
He has an accent, but
yeah,
I don't know.
He says he's from Jamaica, Queens.
Yeah, when was he living in fucking Jamaica, Queens?
Probably 60 years ago.
His family was incredibly rich. So what part of Queens did that asshole live in?
He said Jamaica.
Maybe he meant Jamaica Estates.
Yeah, that's right. The fancy part, you know. Yeah, what's going on, Vishal, man? All right, so yeah, you guys start asking us some random shit. So we're gonna start things off here with him deal. This is one of his. Actually, he asked us 4 questions yesterday. This guy was going nuts. So we're gonna answer 2 of them here. So this one is for me, actually. Tony, did you see the closed doors Cyberpunk demo? If you did, what are your thoughts? If you didn't, and I know how many of you lean towards third-person games, what are your thoughts on it being a first-person game? I heard it was first-person immediately. My interest started to wane big time. Very interesting. I did not get to see the game behind closed doors. It was 2 reasons. One, I did not get an invite for it, but that wouldn't have stopped me normally. The main reason I didn't go is because I literally had no time. Like, my schedule was packed so tightly, I had at most an hour between appointments, and that's not enough. I've heard the appointment was like 50 minutes, so it would not have been enough, you know?
To give you an idea how many appointments Tony had per day, I only really saw him at the beginning and the end of the day. And the random portions of seeing him rushing to another appointment.
Yeah, it was real, man. As far as for the other part of the question, I guess all you guys could jump in here. What do you guys think about the fact that it's a first-person game? I actually don't have a problem with that. Deus Ex is first person. Now, to me, this game is just another Deus Ex, so I don't really have a problem with that. I mean, I would have preferred if it was third person. Don't get me wrong. I would have preferred it was third person. Third person to me is more immersive than a first person, because first person, you're just a floating gun, you know? But I'll live with it. I got used to it with Deus Ex, so whatever, you know? What about the rest of you guys? What do you think about the game being first person-y?
I don't mind it. To be honest, I don't know. It feels like it somehow feels right, especially the way from its kind of RPG roots that Cyberpunk came from. You know, because obviously, for those of you who don't know, Cyberpunk was a dice and rolling game exactly like Dungeons and Dragons. So it was just in the future, you know. So yeah, I think it's fine. I don't, I'm still somewhat interested in the game.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah,
I could go ahead, Carlos, since you're already talking.
Since it was announced that it was a first-person shooter, a lot of people were giving it crap. It's like, oh, it's another first-person shooter, and I'm like, I don't know. I just don't expect this game to be a generic first-person shooter, especially coming from CD Projekt Red. So
yeah, aren't we all guilty of the same thing with one genre or another? Oh, it's a dinosaur game. Oh, it's an open world game. Oh, it's a narrative. I mean, I'm not saying that they're right. I'm just saying that they heard first person, they heard shooter, and they thought first person shooter.
Yeah, that's true.
First person RPG. I don't know if it's a FPS.
No, it is a first person RPG. You just use guns, and I think everybody heard first person shooter.
Right.
And so they're like, fucking another first-person shooter game. Like that's like when Tony says another zombie game. Like, it may be different. You don't know.
It may be, but I mean, especially when this studio this developer is the one that's making the game, then I think I'll give them the benefit of the doubt until I see something from them. When I see like gameplay, then I'll kind of just judge it for what it is. But in the meantime, I don't think we have that much to work on other than sort of the environment that it's set on. So yeah, I guess I'll cast judgment after that.
I mean, I have no problem with it being a first-person shooter, and CD Projekt Red usually they make good experiences. Like Witcher is very good. There must have been a reason they felt that this game needed to be represented like that. Either they want to capitalize on VR, or they felt it was more immersive to make it first person, right? Like Tony made a good point. You're not Geralt anymore. This is you. Like you're making your character, so you're experiencing it through your character's eyes. So it makes total sense to me. So I have no problem with it. I don't know why people are upset. And yeah, I don't think people look past the surface of it. They're like, oh, first person shit. No, if you understand the history of Cyberpunk, then you know it's an RPG, so you kind of know that that's what you expect to get out of the game.
Yeah.
So I have no problem with it.
I mean, that's kind of what the Elder Scrolls games were kind of built off of. They were supposed to be kind of like Dungeons and Dragons.
That's actually a counterexample because you can switch between first and third person in the Elder Scrolls, which is one of the biggest draws because a lot of people don't like first person. It makes them sick. Oh, by the way, if you guys couldn't tell, I'm on the other side of this argument as per usual. I'm really upset that this went first person. It went from one of the most anticipated games in the last 5 years to I don't think I'm going to play it. Like it dropped like a fucking lead balloon, man. Like I honestly and genuinely don't really care anymore.
Well, I mean they've done a whole bunch of third person games, so like
yeah, and I didn't like the setting in The Witcher. Like it was just too fucking Polish. It was just depressing and cold and dreary and gray, and it just made me want to stab myself in the eye.
Did he say it was too Polish?
Too Polish, man.
But then again, I mean this looks like it's the antithesis of that. So
no, it does, and that's why I was really excited. I was like, okay, so these people that are really great at world building all these cool narratives that run through the world, building these multi-part quests, making really immersive characters and a really fleshed out world, are doing one of my favorite genres ever. And then they had to come out and be like, yeah, but we're not going to do any of the same stuff that we did in The Witcher. We're going a different direction. It's one of those, like kind of like I said with From Software, like kind of stick with part of the formula that works. Or for the very least, you want to make it first person. Like, give the people. What the fuck is wrong with the option of giving people the option between first and third person? Why is Bethesda the only fucking company that does that? Especially in games where you are heavily customizing your character. I don't want to spend all this fucking money for a tattoo that I only see in a goddamn cutscene every once in a while. I want to spend a lot of money making my character look badass and be able to actually admire it every once in a while. Even Destiny had the option to fucking dance so you could check out your armor every once in a while. This game doesn't have that. And for a game that's so based on customization, we don't know that. You're right. But I haven't been told that there's any third person anything in the game. So
I mean, we haven't even seen the game. That's why kind of like my point. It's like we haven't really seen anything. So it's like it's hard to cast judgment on it just for the simple fact that it changed the perspective of the gameplay.
I cast judgment in the sense that the whole game is going to be in first person because they've told us that.
Well, maybe you can prejudge, but
well, also I think they're very good at taking feedback, and I think if enough people feel like Brett and are pissed, I mean, hell, these are the guys who made Gwent out of Witcher 3, right?
Yeah.
They went, everyone loves Gwent. Oh, boom. And so they may go, all right, we got to figure out how to pull the camera back. Maybe we can do something with this or put the Destiny dance. They'll figure out something. I think they'll hear you and go, okay, let's figure this out so people can admire their character build.
And that's actually what I'm really hoping. Like normally I'd just be like, okay, so maybe this game didn't go towards me. And I'm not actually as angry as I sound. I'm passionate because I do know that CD Projekt Red, of any developer out there, might actually listen to people when they say, I'm really not happy about not having the option for a third person. And they might add it in because they are one of the coolest fucking developers ever, which is why I really, 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 really want to support this game, which is why I really, 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 really don't want myself locked into first person. I'd love the option to switch between them. And
send them a letter.
Yeah. All right. I want to move on to the next question. We're already getting a bunch here. The next question, I guess this is for me and Manny. Did you see Dreams? We saw a Dreams concert. That's it.
We saw a Dreams concert after the PlayStation, press conference. They essentially led us back into the room, and we watched them do a little Dreams concert with all this crazy stuff with the controllers and stuff. So, yeah, remember those little vignettes that you saw in between the trailers? you saw like a little goofy thing. All those things were on the screen, making music.
Yeah, but we didn't get to see the actual game, so that's a
No.
negatory. All right, next up here, Low to High. He asked us, will you guys ever add any new cast members? The answer is no, we are not. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of an inside story. We kind of have more people than we kind of need. It kind of was a little bit of an accident. It kind of things happen. And I'm just being real right now. After, what happened, Brett, I'm just being honest. After what happened, Rachel, I didn't know if you were going to come back to the show. I'm like, I need somebody else here. Like, let me bring in Adam, and I think something was going on with Brian. Like, let me bring in Carlos just in case. And then everybody showed up like, oh, shit, I got 7 heads to work with here. So no more, no mas. The only way somebody's we get a new cast member if somebody leaves the show permanently. Even then, if somebody leaves permanently, I may not even get anybody, because ideally, like originally, it was supposed to be 5 guys, but now we have 7. But luckily for me, I'm being real right now. You guys are easy to work with. It's not a fucking rabble, So that's why it works.
We also kind of kept it in the family.
That's the other thing.
The other thing. Adam has always been there with us. Back to when we were doing Cool Stuff, the blog, he was writing stuff on that site. So, easy to talk to, and he's crazy.
That's the main thing. It was like we want to keep it in the family. Carlos is already part of the family, obviously, so it was easy. Anybody else, I think you're trying to maybe ask like, hey, can some random person? No, we got to trust you, man. We need to trust you. So that's not going to happen by design. We will not get a new cast member, even if somebody leaves the show. Probably not going to get replaced either. That's just how it is.
I mean, also the thing is that like when we transitioned, we also lost Riku.
Yeah, we lost Riku. Yeah,
when when we went from the STFUM play version of the show to the Coalition version of the show.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so there you go. That's that. Next up, Mr. Vishal Thind. What's up, Brett?
I was thinking about this the other day, and this is actually a really good time to bring it up. In one form or another, even before like this, the Planeteers had fully assembled, like, Carlos, for instance, like we were doing spoiler cast with Carlos before he came on the show. So taking into account the fact that we've all been podcasting one form or another, how long have we all been doing this together?
All right, from the beginning, because this original version of the show started in the summer of 2012. So it's been a while. It's been a while, and the original guys was me, Jeezy, Riku, and Heart Jess. And then you guys came on. Manny came on late 2012. Brett, you came in 2013. Chris came on 2014, I believe. Carlos came in last year. Was it Carlos?
That was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. And Adam, I think he was last year as well.
Actually, it was my birthday 2 years ago, because I remember you asked me to join that on my birthday, and I was like, oh, I can't today.
Yeah.
I started as a special guest.
Yeah, you did. Pretty crazy. Yeah, no more new guests, man, or no new panelists. All right, next up, Mr. Vishal Thind. So he's asking, who's hyped for Attack on Titan season 3 next month? I am. So,
I've never seen even 2, so
yeah, no, I'm Attack on Titan is one of the few anime I do watch, so I'm definitely gonna look for it. If I'm gonna do it my usual way, I'm probably gonna watch it like a month after it finishes airing or something. Go ahead, guys.
Hell yeah.
Give me that cash.
Freaking excited. They finally got they got up to like the major part, like the freaking what is it? What do they call that? The Beast Titan? What do they call him?
Yeah,
Yes,
the Beast Titan.
God.
We're finally gonna get some answer. That thing is like lost, man. It's like I am confused. End of season 1. What? There's a guy. There's a face in the wall. Anyone? Got? No. We get here now. Like nothing's answered with Annie. Season 2, we went through all that shit, and then you get what's his name? Not Berthold, Bertrand, and the other guy.
Yeah.
Then they reveal themselves and all that shit. There's another like society.
Spoiler warning.
Yeah. So. No, go freaking watch it, man. Go watch that shit. Catch up, but it's good. It keeps you enthralled. So I'm looking forward to it, man. It has good animation and the story is like freaking beyond solid.
Dude, that show is like Game of Thrones, the anime.
Yes,
out of all animes ever, that one deserves like a breakdown or a spoiler cast the most, because you actually have to go over like, what the fuck did we just see, and what the fuck does it mean?
Yeah,
like it's I don't think there's anybody here other than Manny who's not like vibrating a little right now.
Oh no, I'm fucking ready. I'm fucking ready. Let's go. Let's go right now. You know.
I'm not vibrating.
Yeah. By the way, the show returns on July the 23rd, and I'm looking forward to it. And like Chris mentioned, all this crazy shit happened in the first season. Even more crazy shit happened in the second season that just keeps asking all these questions. So I'm really hoping that season 3 answers some of these, because what the hell is in that freaking basement? I still don't fucking know.
Brian's like, I already know what's in there.
I read the manga.
I read the manga.
And then the manga guy goes, yeah, I read that too.
You already
Manga
know the
guys.
manga guy, you know.
So yeah, man. Attack on Titan is one of those shows that is super hype. Interesting enough, season 2 wasn't as popular as season 1 because they took for freaking ever to in between seasons.
Yo, man, it took 50 years.
Dude, but still, the explosion of Attack on Titan fandom was fucking crazy. Like, Rachel and I went to a Comic-Con in 2012, and we saw, like, one person in Mikasa cosplay. We went back in 2013. They were having group pictures of Mikasa, like 20
we saw
at a
that
time.
at New York Comic Con. That shit was crazy.
Well, I noticed that
All of
also,
a fucking sudden, you're like, holy, is everybody all of a sudden into Attack on Titan?
I noticed that also which was actually kind of cool, is that because of how many people are in Attack on Titan, some people were not necessarily actually playing characters; they were being themselves.
Yeah, they just had scout gear on.
They just had scout gear on. Yeah.
Yeah, or they were Titans, or like, yeah, I mean, it's amazing how many opportunities there were. It was astounding how quickly the community, not just the weeaboo otaku community, but like the mainstream people who don't really watch all that much anime, fucking embrace this show.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Right. Last thing, Carlos. So we're getting a shit ton of questions tonight, boy. We got to move on.
Quick thing, like Attack on Titan, like launched a new wave of anime fandom. It just exploded out of nowhere, and a lot more people are anime fans just because of this show. So it's pretty awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right, man. Next question here from actually Barry Burton. We got a couple from him. So he's some silly questions here. What is your name? You know our names, motherfucker. Next question is, what is your quest? Your quest for fire? I don't understand that.
I seek the Holy Grail.
Yeah, and okay. And what is your favorite color? Blue. Navy blue to be specific.
No, yellow. No.
What? Yellow, ew.
He's making Monty Python references. The 3 questions.
Oh.
What is the average flight speed of an air-laden swallow? Am I the only? Okay, I'm the only one.
No,
Okay.
I've seen Holy, but I forgot the question. I remember what is your name, what is your quest?
Okay, I think I'm supposed to read these all at once. Like, what is your name? What is your quest? What is your favorite color?
No, you're supposed to read them that way, but the response is your name, and then I seek the Holy Grail, and then blue. Wait, yellow. No. Ah!
Yeah, I guess that shows how much of a Monty Python fan I am. Like,
I'm uber nerded over here for you folks. I got you covered.
yeah. All right. Next up here, Mr. Bryce Douglas. This one's for Mr. Emilio. All right.
Yo.
How did you get into the comic book industry, and are you still doing work in it now? And what's some of your work we can check out?
Yes. How did I get into the comic industry? It's actually kind of an interesting sort of thing. Originally, when I was in school and stuff, I wanted to be a comic artist. But what happened is that when I went into college, it was kind of like, actually, yeah, like when I took an internship at Marvel before I went to college. And at that point in time, they were pretty much firing more people than they were hiring. This was in the time when Marvel was actually kind of going bankrupt. So like it was after the 90s and all these horrible things were happening and they were firing people. So at that point in time, I kind of made the decision like, hey, I don't know if this comic thing is going to work. Everything seems to be crashing around everything here. So maybe I should get into animation. So when I went into college, I wanted to go into animation. The animation course ended up being so expensive. I just decided, all right, I guess I'm going to go into cartooning illustration and see what I can do from there. And then from that, that when I was in school, I wanted to do another internship at Marvel to see if I can, try to squeeze some more work, because at that point in time they were doing a little bit better. But then what happened was there were I couldn't get into that internship program again, so I ended up taking an internship in the Ninja Turtles cartoon, which was the 2000 around 2003 2004, and from there I ended up in animation. I graduated college, and I ended up in animation I started in 2003. I ended in 2000. I started an intern in 2003, and then eventually moved in to a position doing like color painting backgrounds for the show, and then doing like character and prop color design, and doing some storyboard work, and doing all kinds of stuff. And all that lasted up till 2009 at this place called 4Kids. For those of you who know who 4Kids are, they're the guys that used to localize the Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon cartoons. They also had stuff they produced there. So from there, what happened was we were working on this, not only working on Ninja Turtles, we were also working on this card game called Chaotic. Eventually, Ninja Turtles got sold off to Paramount, and the card game wasn't doing as well as it should have, as they wanted it to do. So we were all the Ninja Turtle like art department, and we essentially got let go all at once in 2009. And that's when I got into comics, because at the time, one of the folks that was drawing cards for the Chaotic card game that I was painting was Kari Randolph, who worked at Marvel. He used to do comic work on. He did Spider-Clan and a bunch of other books from different things, and he had worked in licensing. In fact, he used to do all the T-shirt designs and stuff on the Ninja Turtle for all the Ninja Turtles marketing. So any of those cool shirts that you saw from those days, those were all his drawings, and they had him drawing the Chaotic card game. They let us all go, and Kari goes to me one day. We had already worked there for like a long time, and he goes, "Yo, I'm thinking of getting back into comics again. So you down? You want to do this?" He's like, "I feel like if we do this as a team, we'd be able to be a little bit more successful rather than just me doing it alone." I'm like, "All right, let's do it." So, and that's when we got into the book Charismagic for Aspen Comics, and we just kind of went up from there. We worked with Robert Kirkman on a book called Tech Jacket. We worked at Marvel on Mosaic. We worked on DC at We Are Robin and Static Shock. So yeah, we're kind of all over. We kind of just kept on going and going, and that's pretty much how I got into comics. It's kind of a weird sideways sort of way, but it all stems from the decision of trying to, because especially in this industry, there's no real person that kind of totally specializes in anything. There's not just the guy who just does. You kind of have to be a one-man studio. And that's kind of the way I offer my skills out to different departments and different things. I can pretty much do everything that can be done in artwork. It's just about sparsing out those different skills to get other work. So if it means I'm coloring a comic book, that's okay. If it means I'm doing storyboards, that's fine. If I'm drawing interiors of comics, it's just those things that I need to survive in this industry. What I'm doing now is I can't talk about it.
By the way, the other part is, so you are still in the industry.
Yes, I am still in the comic industry. We are currently me and Kari are currently doing doing covers for Scarlet Spider. We are also doing covers for Valiant Comics, as well as covers for the Noble series from Lion Forge. So we're kind of spread out throughout the different companies right now. And then we're working on this big thing that we can't talk about. Not to mention that I am also working on a game, doing a key art for a game, which you probably, if you look at my Twitter, I worked on this, did some key art for a game called Fractured Lands by Unbroken Studios. It's just kind of this battle royale, Mad Max sort of game. So pretty much drawing really cool images and stuff like that for them. So, and where you can find my artwork is if you go to @EMANN land. You can just on Twitter or on the Instagram. You can find a link to my art gallery and my DeviantArt, and you can pretty much look at all my stuff there. Then there you go.
Awesome. Right.
It's a long, it's a weird, crazy, long road. But you know, the one thing about art is that you never know where it's going to take you, and you know, if an opportunity shows up, you know, don't be afraid to pick it up, because you know what, you may end up in the place that you wanted to be, or you may be in an even different and better place. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm going to tie two things together right now. First of all, shout out to Showan for the super chat, and his comment is, and Manny, you could relate to this one. He would love to see a Static Shock game. You actually worked on some Static Shock covers.
Yes, we did. We when they rebooted Static Shock during New 52, which me and Kari were part of the New 52 section. We did the covers for those issues. Unfortunately the series was canceled, but you know, it was a fun ride to do those.
Cool. All right. Next question here from Eduardo Wikari. He goes, "Can you talk in detail about the games you played at E3?" He's talking to me specifically. He was hitting me up on the Twitters today. So I'm not going to go into mega detail because we got a lot of questions here. But I will tell you what games I played. This is based off of my tweet today when I listed every game I played out there. So I'll just give you a quick little rundown here. So Spider-Man, shit is dope. Get the game right now, even though it's not out yet. Battlefield 5 is cool. I don't really care about first-person shooty games, especially military ones. But, you know, it was cool for what I played. Forza Horizon 2 is doing a really cool thing when it comes to the weather system. It's like...
Horizon 4?
Yeah, Forza Horizon 4. Did I call it Motorsport? Forza Horizon 4. Hold on a second here. I'm always paranoid that I'm muting myself. It was cool. I like the weather things. Treachery and Beatdown City. This game is crazy. It's basically you guys are gonna love this. It's it's a beat 'em up game crossed with Fallout 3. It's fucking crazy. You know, Double Dragon. That's what I'm looking. Double Dragon meets not Far Cry, Fallout. Basically, you have your little sprite characters, and as soon as you punch the other one, it goes into menus, and you get to select your shit. That's cool. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That was dope too. I had to play it on a fucking mouse and keyboard, so that was a little bit weird. But your boy, I finished the demo. Unlike Hip Hop Gamer, who left the demo 3 minutes in, I'm being real right now. Hip Hop, what happened? You know, Destiny 2 was cool. You know, it's more Destiny. You shoot shit. I played the Forsaken thing. I played Gambit. That was that's the new multiplayer mode where basically you have two teams on different sides of the map, and you know you kind of have to stack your points against them. And then I played the story mode, which here's the funny thing. Quickly, Activision spoiled that Cade 6 dies in a trailer. I didn't see this trailer, so when he died in the game for me, I was genuinely shocked. I'm like, oh shit, they killed him. But apparently everybody also already knew. So it kind of sucks that people aren't going to get the same experience I did. I did not see that shit coming. Ori and the Will of the Wisp, another really good game. If you like the first one, you're probably going to like this one. Warhammer Vermintide, very interesting type of game. First person hack and slash type of game. Unravel 2, you know, or as I call it, Yarny 2. You know, it's interesting because now you have two little Yarny characters to control. Bloodstain, we will talk about that in a little bit. We got a question about that. Indivisible is another really cool game. It's hand-drawn from the same people that have made the Skullgirls game. Really cool RPG type of game as well. Underworld Ascendant is a really weird first-person medieval type of game. Really nice graphics. I didn't know what the hell was going on in the game, but it looked nice. Overkill's The Walking Dead. We got a question about that one as well. We're gonna answer later. Resident Evil 2 is the fucking shit. Get the game. Again, it's not even out now, but get the game when it drops. It's fucking awesome. It's basically Resident Evil 2 with the camera of Resident Evil 4 and the graphics of Resident Evil 7. Fucking crazy. You know, Mega Man 11 is basically the next Mega Man. It has like 2.5D graphics. And I'm being real right now, I play this shit on casual. I was still getting fucked up. It's hard, man, but it's good, you know. Hitman 2, if you like the episodic shit, you're gonna love this one. But it's instead of being episodic, it's all in one game, but the structure is still episodic because it's 6 separate stories in one. But if you like the last Hitman game, 2016, you're gonna love this one. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, another one. This is one of my personal favorites that I played there. You guys already know me, man. Assassin's Creed is one of my favorites. This shit, Ancient Greece, forget about it. I'm like, Chris, I'm throwing money on my screen, but nothing's happening. Give me this fucking game, you know? And this next one gets me a little mad because I said I was done with the franchise. They pulled me back in. Division 2. That demo was fucking legit, man. You're fighting on Air Force One and shit. Crazy. You know, Skull and Bones. Here's the thing about Skull and Bones. I had fun with it for 20 minutes. I don't know if I could have fun with that game after an hour because it's basically just the Black Flag shit. Just that. Like you can't even get off your ship or nothing. So I don't know how long it lasts, but I did have fun with it for a little bit.
I told you. Didn't I tell you? I told you.
Yeah. But at the same time, this is Ubisoft. I could still see this game selling 1 billion copies. You know, I played a Lego DC game that focuses more on the villains. If you like Lego games, you already know what's up. I played Jump Force. I don't like it. It plays just like a Naruto game. I can't stand those games. You know, graphics looks nice. I'll give them that. And I like how they're mashing up all the characters. But I was not feeling the gameplay. And Soul Calibur 6, fucking awesome. I'm hyped for that one. And then here's some games I didn't get to play because it was just hands off. But I saw them. Control, you already know. I'm fucking ready. Give me that shit right now. You know, Just Cause 4. We'll see about that one because I wasn't really enamored with Just Cause 3, but that tornado they have in this game, crazy. You know, Captain Spirit is a really cool game. It's basically set in the same world of Life is Strange, but it has like a little kid instead. Really cool stuff. And then Dying Light 2, you already know. I'm ready, man. You know, so that's my little tip there. What's up?
Your body is ready?
Yes, my body is Reggie. You know? Zara is great. Also asked if I played the Resident Evil 2 demo. Yes, I did, man. It's crazy. You know. By the way, Carlos, didn't Bryce already ask 2 questions? What's going on here?
No, he asked one.
Okay, good. I'll throw you in there, Bryce. All right, let's move on to the next question here. Where the fuck are we? Okay, Joey Williams. And Joey, you asked 2 questions already, so we're not going to answer your X-Men question. Okay, to the non-Xbox One owners, what exclusives did Microsoft show that would literally get you to buy an Xbox One? This is for Brett and Manny. As you know, Brett doesn't count anymore. Manny, this is just for you.
Okay. Repeat the question.
What exclusives did Microsoft show that would literally get you to buy an Xbox One?
Okay. So let's see.
Hold on, before you answer. We got a lot of Xbox owners on this Ponycast.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I think the nature of that question leads me to believe that they don't know how many Xboxes are on the podcast.
Yeah, Adam's not here. He owns one. I'm just saying. Anyway, Manny, go ahead.
So, what would have made me buy it, or what
they showed?
What did they show?
Showed.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like Xbox has always been at the cusp of piquing my interest in getting something for it, and there's always it just hasn't done it yet for me. I haven't got here's the one thing. One of the things I do, I watch a lot of watch those things pretty closely just to kind of see if there's something that would pique my specific interest. And even I had an interest in Gears of War, but I felt like that wasn't enough reason for me to pick it up from back in the day on the original Xbox. There just hasn't been that those couple of factors that said, okay, this is why I need to own an Xbox. And I think that's a little bit, even though I did say that the Xbox show was the better of the press conferences, I do not think that the one flaw of the Xbox conference is that they did not, they kind of didn't give you reasons why you should go out and buy an Xbox. It kind of essentially said, hey, if you have an Xbox, these are the things that are coming.
That's why we said Sony had the stronger content lineup, but Microsoft, I mean, when we said all that, it was Microsoft had the best showing, the presentation.
Yeah. You knew exactly where Microsoft was going. Sony was kind of being like, hey, we want to presentate you all this kind of stuff.
I was torn, though, because as annoying and weird and slow and not as genuine as Sony's conference was, they still showed more games. I'm like, fuck, if I didn't own a PlayStation, I'd have to go out and buy one.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man.
So that's the one issue that I have with Xbox. They just haven't. It just hasn't had that thing that kind of piques my interest and said, yeah. I mean, I have a passing interest in We Happy Few, but that's actually multi console, so it's multi-plat.
Can we call a spade and just say that there are only 3 titles that could lure you over the Xbox?
Okay, what are they?
Forza, Gears, and Halo.
Yeah, and those Halo. I mean, Gears is. I like the Gears games. I've always have. I've played them with Adam and all that stuff. I think those are really great. Not really that much of a Halo fan. I mean, as though I do respect the story and I think the music's really good. And I dig Master Chief, but FPS games are not my thing. And car games, I'm not a car game sort of person. So unless the cars had really bullets and stuff like that, because I like car combat games. But yeah, right now there's little things that are just like, okay, yeah. And then the other thing is, I'm just gonna say this a lot. The one sad part of it. I mean, not sad part of it, but just because of where they're going with the Xbox, where it's now more of a service idea. Well, all those games that I kind of want to play in passing are all coming to PC. I'm sure I can play the new Gears of War. I'm sure I can play Quantum Break, which I also had a passing interest in it, and Cuphead all on PC. But I'm not much of a PC gamer, so.
Can I take this
Not easy.
to interject? I think Microsoft's biggest selling point right now isn't games, and that's not a dig. Like, I actually legitimately mean that. Think about it. Right now, with the way that GPUs have leapt up in prices, it's actually now more economical to buy a console for the most part if you're looking for gaming in this range, in this price range.
Brett,
yes.
There was an interview. I don't know if it was this year. Someone retweeted it, and it was Phil Spencer talking to, I don't know, it was CNBC or one of those people, like one of those mainstream like cable news site shows, and he was like, the main priority is to sell like our game. Like, they're asking him if the console is the biggest priority to sell, and he's like, he basically said no.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then he kept mentioning how Xbox Live as a service was sort of the best sort of cash cow for for Xbox division. So it's like, it's just interesting to know what their priorities are with Xbox in general.
Yeah, that's interesting. Their priorities are so then malaligned with their strengths, because that is the biggest key difference right now. Is if you want to be able to play, it's very economical to get a Scorpio basically. You're still getting more bang for your buck, so it's not actually a bad time to buy a console. And the ironic thing is, what they all launched with was like, that was kind of the battle cry when the Xbox came out. It's like, oh, it's cheaper than a PC. Like, oh man, yeah, it's cheaper than a PC, but not for the PC parts that you're getting. You can spend the equivalent on a PC and get much more. Now that is not so much the case, and they don't have a whole lot of games, so they really should be kind of. And I think they've been trying to leverage the power, but they just don't have the exclusives right now. And exclusivity is what pulls people in. It, again, like Manny just said, even if there were a game he was interested in, he doesn't really need to buy the console because he can play the game anyway. Without exclusives, there's no such thing as a system seller that's multi-plat.
I mean, the thing is, again, there just has to be enough reason, because again, I'm not also a big PC gamer, so that's also a hurdle that's standing in the way of me playing, of playing some of those games on my PC, because I don't want to look at this fucking thing. I'd much rather be in my living room, my comfy couch, instead of sitting here for more hours looking at a screen, because because of the work I do. I look at this monitor, these two monitors for hours and hours a day, and I don't want to be here. Once the door to the office closes, it closes, and I'm off duty. So
yeah, it's PCs aren't as much fun when you work with them all day.
Yeah, that's kind of like me too. It's like, listen, bro, I'm not trying to be in front of this shit. I was in front of my PC today for hold on, because I can't math, from 1 to 10. So do the math. That's a
9
lot of
hours.
Yeah, come on, son. I'm not trying to be here trying to play games. That's fucking
and
bullshit.
my schedule is crazy longer than that. I spend long. I'm not gonna even say how long it is. It's sometimes it can be the sun. I could be here from sun up to sundown to sun up again.
Yeah, no, chill.
Let's just say
I think that's most of us, because me and Chris are programmers, so it's like,
yeah,
we don't have a choice.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on.
I sit in a tattoo chair most of the time, but then I still come home and do 6 hours worth of illustration work.
Shit.
But at the same time,
last thing, man, because we got a ton of questions here.
But at the same time, it is a little bit of a different thing. It's like you don't, if you're in front of a computer after hours, it's a little bit of a different thing. Even though you still are drawing, you're not doing work for that. It's a different kind of thing. So it's
it's still work. It's a second job. I get paid for it. It's how I help pay my rent. It is a second job. I have deadlines and stress and everything that comes along with it. So no, my PC equals work, even if I'm I'm just because I'm at the tattoo shop 8 hours a day. And most of my tattoo designing gets done on my Cintiq as well. I'm unlike most fucking tattoo artists in this goddamn city in the industry now, and I won't get into that because I'm sure you guys don't want to hear it, but most people don't fucking draw their own tattoo art anymore. The idea of a custom tattoo artist has gone the wayside, and I constantly dump 4, 5, 6 hours into designing half sleeves that I have a fucking Futurama half sleeve that I designed so meticulously that I pulled up the actual design art and the concept art from Futurama and designed a full leg sleeve of like 28 different goddamn characters along with the background and the building and the ship and a fucking DEF CON sign that says, DEF CON kills Al's dead. And I nailed it so hard that nobody can tell that I didn't directly bite shit off the internet, and nobody gives me credit for fucking drawing it.
Yeah, that's some bullshit. All right.
It is some bullshit.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. If Netflix's Daredevil comes back, which it is, it's already been confirmed, do you expect to see acrobatics Daredevil style? Of course. That's part of what Daredevil does.
Yeah.
Like, is he gonna just not just walk around normally? That doesn't kind of make any sense,
Yeah, that dude. I mean, they always have those stunt doubles that do all the acrobatic shit. So I'm pretty sure they can always find someone.
That's an interesting question. Why would you think he would not be doing it?
Yeah, it's a weird question.
All of a sudden, it's just going to turn into Ben Affleck's Daredevil, where he's just mindlessly leaping off of the top of a building.
Yeah,
If anything, I'd expect him to do more as the budget increases with the show's success.
I'm wondering.
I can afford a little of the CGI in there too.
I'm just wondering if how Daredevil's gonna even do, like, because these Netflix shows haven't been doing that great.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Quality wise, at least. I don't know about.
Yeah, quality's been dipping. Yeah.
They kind of just been losing a little bit of their something.
Yeah. All right. Moving on here. Bryce Douglas. He goes, last question from me. LOL. This is an interesting one. Got to be very careful with this one.
Okay.
I'm just gonna
read it verbatim. Yeah. You won't get in trouble. It's somebody else's words.
Yeah. If you guys don't mind talking about it, how do you feel about the issues the comics and entertainment industries are facing right now with identity politics? I just want to say this up front. I really wanted to talk about this, but I think my answer is going to give you the answer. Considering the way things are right now, I do not want to lose my job over saying something that somebody may be offended by. I think that lets you know right there what I think of the state of things. It's not good,
As a person who works in the comic industry, I will plead the fifth on this question as well. I personally, I still want to work, regardless if I'm for or against it. I just think that it's just not it's not as a person who does this sort of work for a living, it's not my place to tell people what needs to be done. It is you, the people that buy these things, that make the decisions as to whether these things are a success or a failure.
This is how bad it is. I'm scared to talk about it just for the simple fact that someone in proximity can get hurt by what I say. And it's happened in the past.
Yeah, we're not going to get into the deal, but yeah, that has happened. Yeah, that has happened on this show. I'm just being real right now. So it's kind of sucky that we're in this age now where we can't really speak freely anymore, but that's just the way it is, man. If you guys have watched the old Throwdowns, compare them to now, we've toned shit the fuck down for a reason. We want to stay on air,
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, it's also a source of professionalism. You don't talk smack about the guys that you work for, when you're, in public, that's just not what you do,
Yeah. But the other guys here aren't beholden to that. So if you guys want to say something, go ahead. But me and Manny pleading a little bit of the fifth here.
I mean, am I allowed to say something here?
choose your words carefully. That's all I'm going to say.
will. I mean,
just the fact, but again, just the fact that we have to choose our words carefully lets you know the state of things. I hope people understand that.
Years ago, I would on this podcast, I would have just pulled out my soapbox and let everybody know what's up. But the fact that I honestly have to be bridled out of, like Carlos said, concern for the proximity of those around me. I'm going to choose my words very carefully, but I do have an idea I want to get across. I kind of follow the rule of George Carlin. I don't hate anybody, and I kind of just hate everybody equally. I have no problem with who you are or who you want to be or what you want to be called or what your preferences are. I do have problems with language, and I do have problems with agendas interfering with narratives. A good story should be at the heart of it a good story. Yes, it should have a moral lesson. It should teach wisdom. It should impart ideas. But it shouldn't necessarily just make you drink the Kool-Aid. It should raise questions. And I think that this era of censorship that we've gotten into is not good for the narrative of games. And that inherently poisons the well. And I've talked ad nauseum about what I think the value of storytelling is in our society. It precedes a good deal of scientific discoveries. It inspires people. It gives people things to lean on and connect to in very desperate times. It gives people things to share. I can be a personal experience from this. Battlestar Galactica. Right? Rachel and I love that. Kill la Kill. Certain things that Rachel and I loved gave us a chance to bond and share them together. And not only that, but a story is essentially a fountain of experience. It is where all the ideas come from. It is one of the most beautiful things that humans have, is the idea to pass an idea on to another person. And to wrap that in a narrative and a story and add the window dressing, not only make it entertaining but educational, is truly one of the best things I think that we can do as human beings. And the fact that that is being hamstrung by people who are afraid to think about dangerous thoughts, quite frankly, scares me, because presenting a dangerous thought is part of the way that you avoid coming to dangerous conclusions. So I don't think the censorship actually does anybody any good. I think that some of my favorite female role models do not come from this time. Samus and Tank Girl are two of my best examples. I love the shit out of both those characters because they're strong, independent women. But that doesn't fly in today's society. And that kind of makes me sad that I can't just root for a badass woman, because all this identity politics has to be put into it. The fact that it clouds everybody's vision and obscures people telling good stories because they're afraid to tread dangerous ground means in the end we all lose. And I think that, I guess that's just a shame.
Yeah. All right. Well, Chris, unless you want to say anything, we could move on here. This took a turn for the worse, people. Shit. Chris is muted. All right. I'm going to move on here. Eduardo Wikari has another question for us. Do you?
Sorry about that.
All right. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. No. Brett put it perfectly.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. Eduardo asked, do you think it's too early for Microsoft to start talking about a next generation console? Nope. I think this is the perfect time. Get that out there. Get people hyped. Because this, like I've said many times, Xbox One is done. The Xbox brand is still, there. It exists. But the Xbox One, the console itself, is over. It's been over. They need to get people excited about the future, and they're doing that. Not only are we going to get a new console, but we also have new studios that they acquired, which are going to probably bring games to this console. And obviously, as we know with the Xbox, if you don't have games, your console ain't worth shit. So that is a good thing. I'm glad they're talking about it. I know some people were upset about it. I was like, good on you, Microsoft. Get that shit out there right now. I don't know when we're going to see the console. It could be another 2 or 3 years, but I'm glad that they're getting the word out there. It's like, people, we got a new Xbox. We got new studios. Get fucking hyped. That's the smartest thing they could do.
Yeah, it's to me, before their conference, the thing that I was looking forward to the most was sort of the signs towards the future, because I think we can all agree that they're pretty much done with this generation. And all the acquisitions that they made, all the studios that they got, most of the new games that they haven't announced that they're developing are probably going to be for the next gen console. So most of those announcements, like the big ones, were geared towards next gen. So yeah, I don't see an issue with that. I think we should look forward to that period, because it's kind of a new beginning for Microsoft, and hopefully they can bring out something that's that competes more with Sony and Nintendo. So yeah,
it's a really good sign, actually. Like this is the heartbeat of a healthier industry coming back. It's like Sony's honestly dominating too much right now. It's become too one-sided, and because of that, you already see cracks in Sony's facade of them starting to show the same bullshit hubris that they had before. I'm getting honestly and genuinely really concerned with Sony's attitude on shit. Whereas Microsoft is gearing up, and this is a very good sign because Microsoft is going to launch this next generation hard. I think they're going for the throat on Sony on this one. They're aiming to take back a large chunk of the market share, and they're going to do so fucking viciously. They're going to.
They're going back to making games.
They're going back to making games. They'll cut themselves at the knee. They'll probably release a console with very little profit, just so that they can get more market share. That will be something. They're going to be appealing towards gamers, and this is something that I thought was going to happen, and this presentation really confirmed it. They're reaching out to gamers. They've apologized. They're trying to reconcile. They're trying to connect directly with people. This feels more like the original Xbox, the people who are about the games and about bringing you a strong, powerful system that delivers the best experience, and they have a lot of games. So unless Sony does something really big in kind, and I'm not saying they won't, they could. They have a lot of studios that produce amazing games, but Microsoft just bought a shitload too. So I feel like Microsoft's going to come out strong in the next generation, and I don't think that you're going to see the discrepancy between Xbox and PlayStation that you do now. I think you'll see some migration back to Xbox for people who have gone PlayStation. And that's good for all of us because a competitive market breeds better things.
Agreed. All right, anybody else want to jump in on this? Yeah, all right, cool. To Fred, I think this is Freddy. Did you guys see Maneater? You are a shark that kills people. Is this a game? I've never heard of it. That sounds crazy.
Yeah, it was at the PC gaming show. You're the shark, man. You it's like see, except you're the shark. You jump over docks and you can upgrade as you eat people. I saw a shark jump up on the beach, grab a dude like Samuel Jackson, drag him back in the water. I'm like, holy shit.
Wasn't the Jaws game like this?
Well, oh wait, yeah, but that was like the Nintendo one, right? The old 2D one.
No, there was a 3D Jaws game that was like that for Xbox.
I remember 3D Jaws in Back to the Future too. Nobody got the fucking joke.
Yeah, the movie, man. He's like, but no, this one, it's kind of like more of like one of those Sci-Fi Channel movies, like Jersey Shore Shark Attack or whatever. People are partying on the beach and shit, and you think, oh, I'm gonna play one of these motherfuckers. It's like, oh, sharks. I'm gonna say, no, you're the shark. You go and attack these people. So you're the other part of the movie.
Yeah, Kristen says that there's a Jaws game on 3DS. Maybe that's what you're thinking about, Manny.
No, there was like a shark game that was like a 3D shark game that was for Xbox or something like that. Don't remember. Let's see.
Interesting. So is this basically Goat Simulator with a shark? Is that what's going on here?
Well, I mean, as much as like it's like all the things you would want, because it's like not like how real sharks would behave. Like the motherfucker
it's a
was
movie shark, right?
Jumping. Yeah, it was doing deep blue sea shit. Like literally, the shark went up on the beach, right? Ate this dude and wriggled back in the water, which is impossible. Once they're dead, you know. You could go over docks. Like the guy was standing there fishing, boom, launched in the air, ate him, boom, right back in the water. Like,
this sounds like a game that takes after like Destroy All Humans, just over the top, play the bad guy, just reckless destruction kind of thing for the sake of humor. Is it hilarious?
Yeah, it's a funny game. It sounds like.
Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, it just looks crazy. You know?
Okay, the game that I'm talking about was called Jaws Unleashed.
Oh yeah, I remember that game.
Yeah, you could eat people. You could fight killer whales and all kinds of other crazy stuff. As I remember, it was.
Yeah, there you go. Barry Burns says Jaws Unleashed too. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll be skipping this game. I have fear of deep water, so I don't care if I am the shark. Nope.
Fuck that shit. The water. Yeah, by the way, am I the only one that thought, heard the song when they read this thing? Oh, here she comes. You know?
I was just thinking, go into the water.
Yeah. All right, the next question from Skip Bayless. Why is Crap Gamer so stupid? Because he's a fanboy. That's why. You know.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of the blinders on. You know, like sometimes I
little
feel
bit.
Little bit, you
Hey,
know.
I'm being nice and diplomatic.
I'm gonna let Manny
That's-
answer this one. You know.
I
Alright,
think he has a little bit of the Xbox blinders on, and it's hard for him to kind of see past a feeling, attacked by the what's going on on the PlayStation side. So he has to look for all these sorts of reasons why he invested in this thing. It's like, dude, you are an Xbox fan. Why can't you be happy with that sort of thing?
Yeah, there's another side to that. I've kind of found out a little bit. I'm just playing the other side of the coin here. It does kind of suck when you like something and you just kind of want to genuinely enjoy it, and people just keep poking their head in the room to tell you how much it sucks.
You know what? I mean, the thing is that maybe he has low self-esteem, but I owned a fucking 3DO and I owned a fucking Sega Dreamcast.
You know,
people were telling me all the time,
I own a Sega Saturn. Everybody was telling me this shit. I fucking loved it. I didn't give a fuck what they said.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. You owned a Sega Saturn. I mean, all of us owned, all of us owned 32Xs, or most of us did.
Yup.
The thing
I
is,
like Sea of Thieves.
you like Sea of Thieves. So here's the thing, like, yes, these things, it does suck when somebody comes in and kind of shits on your party, but at the same time, you're the one that's having a good time. They're the ones fucking shitting on you. So you could be sitting there, man. I'm loving my fucking Super Street Fighter for 3DO. I love my freaking Samurai Showdown. I love freaking Road Rash, Return Fire. I'm enjoying those games. Do you have those games? At least at the time, there wasn't a perfect version of arcade perfect version of Street Fighter, and that was on the 3DO. So, just saying.
Shout out to Sean once again for the super chat. He goes, Crap actually owns a PS4 and PSVR. He loves PSVR. Well, he doesn't talk about it very much, does he?
I mean,
but here's the thing about Crap Gamer too. It's also possible this is all put on.
Oh yeah, he's doing the character, and he's kind of he's essentially slapping the hornet's nest.
Yeah, basically, because he knows that he has a specific fan base, so he riles them up.
Ruben.
Like Jay Ruben.
But again, you shouldn't. Here's the one thing about something, like, you shouldn't need to prove to everybody else that the thing that you like is good. You know what? You gotta, sometimes you just gotta play your shit, and then eventually people figure out the damn thing is good. Or it just dies. That's also in the cards too.
All right, I'm gonna move this question up the queue. Manny, this one's for you.
For me.
Which one was your favorite playthrough of Nier Automata?
The favorite playthrough, I actually liked. It's interesting because it's like the first and the second one are very closely kind of connected, but then it kind of just shoots in another direction with the third playthrough. The funny thing is that it's not really a playthrough; it's almost like another game. It's like you play the first game from two different angles, and then you play the third game, which is the final part. So I actually, to be honest, I can't say. I actually liked the whole game in general, because I liked that it took you in those different directions. You get to learn about a bunch of stuff from one character's angle, and then just essentially, I call the final part of Nier, the third part, Nier Automata 2. Because that's what it kind of feels like. But yeah, I kind of like.
He said A2.
Yeah, the A2 section. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to say the whole game in general is just a fun ride, and it's just the way it kind of weaves a bunch of the different narratives again, and does lots of fun allegory on certain things. Great stuff. I just say the whole thing.
Yeah, Mr. B says, without C, the game is average at best. C made it a masterpiece.
I like
That's the A2 part?
That's the A2 part.
I haven't played that part yet.
I mean, the funny thing is that it's a weird sort of thing, because you think that the first part of the game, as far as the first part of the game, it's a very good game. But then once you start to, I liked each chapter of the game has kind of added its own thing. It's like, 2B section is essentially like the surface level. It's like, okay, we're fighting the bad guys and then we beat them. Then the second one was like, oh wait, there's a bit of a deeper story going on, and then you get to find out about some of the other robots and other other things about with 9S. And then there's the A2 section, which is I do one thing about A2 section. I think her section, for her specifically, I think she is a little bit underdeveloped. And I know you're going to say, hey, you should read the books and all that other shit. I do feel like there should have been a little bit more with her. But, it's all good.
All right, man. Next question here from Mr. B again. This one is actually for me, Manny, and Chris, since we've all played this. Did you see or play Bloodstain? I'm dying for any information on it. Manny, I'll let you go.
Let me answer this question first, man.
Go ahead, Carlos.
No, go ahead. No, I was just
actually,
joking.
You know what, Chris, you get in here, man, because
Yeah, go for it, Chris.
Oh, me? If he's talking about Ritual of the Night, the one we kickstarted, and a bonus one, like the little bit I played, is fantastic. Like, I mean, and I played it the last time I was at E3. That was 2016, and I got to meet Koji. Picture with him. I got the Dark Grimoire set and whatever, and he like shook my hand and he bowed. Like, but it was such a great experience. It's like exactly what I wanted, right? It was like Symphony Night just HD'd up with, and you had cool powers and shit. I'm sure there's way more. I'm sure the Manny and Tony could give you way more. But even the little 8-bit extra they gave you, I played that through that, and that was great.
Yeah, that thing's fun.
Took me right back to Castlevania 3. So it was so well done. I didn't expect that. That was a bonus, So yeah, I can't wait for that thing to finally come out. I bought the art book, like I paid for that thing, so I want to get all art that I seen in in the updates that he's been putting out. Yeah, I can't wait.
So yeah, like when you queue back the game, you get a demo for the game. So far, I mean, we've granted, I think Tony's probably played more varied builds of the game than
I played it. I played it 3 times already, 3 different E3s.
We the one that Chris and I got was that first demo that they demoed in 2016. So we haven't played a lot of that, but I mean, it's played the other future builds. But so far from that first bit of demo, we've been getting updates on it. It's actually, they've improved a lot from the visuals and all kinds of other stuff. But I mean, even back then, it was working really well. Koji knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I played it again this year. It just keeps looking better and better. It's interesting because I played the boat part again, but it looked better this time. The boss was slightly changed around. Graphics look crazier. There's more weapons in there. You guys already know, man. I love Castlevania, Symphony of the Night, all that shit. This game is right up my alley. Give me this shit right the fuck now. I played for 3 E3s. Koji, I love you. Get the shit out there. I'm ready, man. And by the way, yes, Sugera. What's going on, brother?
He's asking if it's out.
No, the 8-bit one is out.
The real joint is out.
Yeah, the real joint, still no release date on it. What I love about every time I go to these demos, my man Igarashi's right behind me. He's watching like intently. He's watching everybody in the room.
Yeah, when we played it at the Xbox booth in 2016, Koji Igarashi stood there for hours just watching people play and seeing the things that they do and taking note of those things. You don't always see that sort of stuff,
my man takes pride in his work.
Where the developer is literally standing there and studying what you are doing as a player. Most of the time when they go into these sorts of things, they kind of just let the demo sit out there, and then the creator just kind of goes whatever, and then they have their own tests. But I think because Bloodstain has been at so many conventions and stuff like that, and Koji has gone to them, I think again in general, because he the audience that he's making the game for is literally standing in front of him, why wouldn't you want to watch to see what these guys are doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Oh, by the way, Dad versus, you already got your 2, brother. We got you, man. Remember, the limits still count. You can ask us whatever questions you want, but the limit still counts because we. By the way, I find it interesting that like you guys aren't this popping during normal through it on your questions. This shit is crazy, All right, man. He thanks us for this information that we gave him. Awesome. You know? Yeah, because people aren't talking about the game, bro. We're talking about it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna write about this shit again. I've already written two articles on this. Watch for my next one. It's coming, man.
You know, it's kind of, you know, at this point in time, it's kind of a little bit under the radar. You know, it's you know,
but there's also it's hard, like, you know, because even when I'm going to do my write up, it's going to be mixed in with other games because it is getting a little bit harder to write about it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they change things, but there's not like there hasn't been any drastic changes implemented. You know, it's just more refining of what's going on in there. You know.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first build that you played, that was the test. You know, that was a you know, a beta build. You know, wasn't really, you know, ready to, you know, fully ready for things. A lot of the artwork wasn't finalized. Back in those days, they didn't do the cool cell shading thing that they're doing now. So it was a lot of stuff.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna quickly, because I'm jumping around here. Subgata is asking, did any of you play the Anthem demo? Man, I got a story for you, son. All right, so we go to the EA Play thing. They have a presentation for Anthem, right? So me and Max, we go in there, Max Muller, and they're like, oh, it's just a hands-off demo. I'm like, I'm not dealing with that shit, you know? Come to find out a couple of days later, literally on Thursday, the final day of E3, they actually had Anthem playable at the NVIDIA booth. What got me mad about this is because I was at the NVIDIA booth. Nobody told me the game was there, you know? So that's kind of annoying. So the game was there, playable on PC. I just didn't know about it until literally like an hour before the fucking show floor, closed down. So no, the answer is no, buddy. We didn't get to play it. Kind of stinks, you know.
Are you interested in Anthem, Subgata?
He probably is.
He probably is. I'm curious. I want to see what this game's about. You know what I'm saying? I think we all do because we don't really have enough answers. But it would have been nice if they actually let us play. But
I mean, the suits and stuff look cool, and it's essentially an Iron Man game.
Yeah.
Well, essentially, I think we all have the same feeling. It's like if this game bombs, that's the end of BioWare. I think where the consensus is that. So we don't want to see that because we have good memories from BioWare, right? We don't want to see them like fall apart. And this game is the straw, right? So you want to, is it suck, man? Should I brace myself for the fucking death of BioWare now?
Oh God, because EA ain't playing, you know.
Yeah. EA ain't playing. I see what you did.
Like I'm so fucking clever, I don't even realize it, man. All right, next question here from Bio2309. Was there any Vita love at E3? No, none that I saw at least.
Zero.
That shit is done, son.
I'm going to say this. Like, the PlayStation booth, as far as everything went, that booth was pretty damn sparse. There was only really 3 games that were there that were playable, which was, you know, Spider-Man, there was a Call of Duty, and then there was, the new Destiny expansion. And then on the opposite side, they had a bunch of VR. And most of their booth was, to be honest, filled with a giant stage that they did presentations and stuff on. But though I do hear a lot of games, Tony, you know, I'm surprised you didn't go into the Sony press area because a lot of games were pretty much playable in that back area.
Yeah, Joey, I'm gonna sneak this in. It's not a full question though. He wants to know what was the reaction to Lindsay Wagner. Nobody knew who the fuck she was, bro.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, nobody cheered at the end of this. I knew who it was. Tony knew it was.
Yeah.
Chris knew it was. But I don't think everybody else knew who she was. They don't know that they don't, you know, kids don't watch the friggin' Bionic Woman on reruns on MeTV, you know. That stuff all that stuff gets lost. So like they showed her on the stage. I'm like, oh, like I actually caught it first when he dropped that picture. I'm like, holy shit, that's Lindsay Wagner on that photo. And I was about to say it to Tony, but I'm like, I guess we'll just leave that alone. And then I'm like, oh, and then at the end, they made her young. So in the photo, she's old. In the ending, she's young. And nobody reacted to that. Yeah. Everybody was just like, all right.
Yeah, Joey said he went off. He got excited when he saw that.
Hey, Joey, you remember the Bionic Woman. Bionic Woman was awesome. But, yeah, it's a little bit too far gone now. It's not like if they threw friggin' what's her face? The lady who played Hela in that movie in Thor, Kate Blanchett, she probably would have gotten a little bit more of a hit. Or the one there's another actress that you know.
Halle Berry. Any other actress, any other modern actress that you throw in there would have probably gotten a little bit more of a hit than that.
You know. All right. Moving on here. Carlos, you want me to say it like without joking?
Call of Duty.
Yeah, no, not that. I'm gonna, yeah, Miguel Perez. All right, I'm not gonna say Perez. Fuck up your
Yeah,
name,
Miguel. I think he's in the chat. I don't know if he's still. How do
Miguel.
you pronounce it?
Yeah, how
Is
do you
it
pronounce it?
Perez or Perez?
Perez.
That's how I say it. I say
Perez.
Perez.
Yeah, Perez, right? That's the way you're supposed to say it. But you know, and the what do you call it? Anglicized is Perez,
Yeah, Perez.
Perez.
and Dominicanized is Perez.
Perez.
We don't fuck with C's or S's at the end of words. All right, so his question is it just me, or is the new Walking Dead game a bad game trying to get people overhyped with the awesome CGI trailers? All right, he is talking about the overkill Walking Dead game. I haven't seen any of the trailers, but I did play it at E3. I call it Left for Walking Dead. It's basically Left for Dead in the Walking Dead universe, but since you don't see any of the Walking Dead characters, it's just a generic first-person shooting zombie game. So nothing special.
They didn't even put Norman Reedus in there.
Nope. So
No.
I mean, I haven't seen, again, I can't speak for the CGI trailers, but I mean, here's the, it's not a bad game. It was competent. I played with like 4 other guys. It was cool. One of them was the game director, kind of telling us where to go and shit. It was fine. If you like those type of games, I don't think I don't think you're not gonna like it. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it. For me, don't care. You guys already know. It's a first person shooting and a zombie game. I'm good. You know, but it played competently enough. You know, like mechanically, I have no problems with it. It's just what it is. It's not really my thing. You know, but again, I can't speak for the CGI trailers. What about you guys? Did you see any of these trailers?
No, I didn't see
Damn.
the new. I remember the original one with the guy who had the flashback, and then he picks up the baseball bat and walks out. That's the only one I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I haven't seen
same here.
another new one.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. All right, moving on here. Dad versus. So he goes, Tony, Spider-Man Collector's Edition or regular? I'm gonna be real. I didn't even know I mean, I know there's a collector's edition, but I don't know what's in it. You know, I'm gonna sound like an asshole right now. I'm gonna sound like a fucking asshole right now. I don't really worry about Sony games anymore because they got me the hookup, so I don't have to worry about that. You know. But what is in the collection? Here's my question: does the collector's edition come with a game? That's the most important thing now.
Yes, it
Yeah,
comes
we got to
with the
worry
game.
about that now. Yeah.
Think about that. We have to worry about that. Thank you, Red Dead Redemption. You know, it's crazy.
Is that who started this?
I don't think they started it, but that's the last example I saw. I'm like, hey, here's the 99 collection edition. It comes with all this crazy shit except the game. So I'm like, does Spider-Man come with the game at least? Anyway, let's be responsible. What's in this fucking collector's edition? Manny, I'm looking at you because you're usually on top of this shit.
Well, the collector's edition comes with a bunch of different Spider-Man, and there's a statue. Stuff usual.
Spider-Man statues?
He's Jewish now.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider.
Manny, hold on. Does it come with Spider-Man statues?
It comes with a Spider-Man statue, as I remember.
Okay, you said different Spider-Men, so what does that mean?
Oh, well, no, the different Spider-Man is essentially different skins that you get in there.
Okay. I mean, if you like Spider-Man, go for it, you know?
Yeah, it just really depends if it has something that you're really looking forward to, because most collector's editions are just really expensive.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to give it my stock answer. Just get the regular game. Don't fucking
Yeah,
shit.
I don't
just be
mess
real.
with collector's editions anymore.
The collector's edition essentially comes with the statue. You remember the well, if you've seen any of the Spider-Man presentations, right? You've probably seen the statue that they have sometimes of Spider-Man. It's pretty much that, a smaller version of that statue that goes hangs out on the top of the stuff. And comes in an art book and steel bookcase, usual stuff. And GameStop also has a little fun extra thing on there. If you do pre-order the game, you get a special Spider-Man video game painted. In other words, the Marvel Legends figures, if you know what those are, you get a special edition version of that's painted to look like the one from the game.
Yeah. I haven't bought a collection in like 10 years. It's like, whatever.
That's pretty cool. I think it comes down to, at least with me, it almost always comes with a statue. And do I want the statue? Because a good high-end statue, and like some of them are good quality, some of them are not so great, but a lot of times like a good figure will run you, especially if it's like a weird anime figure or something like that, it'll run you like $40 half the time anyway. Yeah,
I mean, the special edition looks very nice for it. that it comes with. But I mean, at the same time, it depends if you want that statue or not. I mean, there's so many fucking Spider-Man statues that you could get now.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
basically what it comes down to is, do you want a Spider-Man statue in an art book? Because that's what you're buying. Like, I like statues and I like art books, so I'm not saying that I will, but like for me, generally, like a collector's edition is a pretty safe bet if I know I'm gonna like the game, because I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get a statue of Kratos in an art book, and I love seeing concept art and shit like that. I geek out over that kind of stuff, so that's a win-win for me. So, and I'm almost always guaranteed that whatever collector's edition is going to come with a statue and an art book, except for Fallout, which came with a Pip-Boy, and I didn't get one.
So
Anyway.
yeah, or the new Fallout 79 that comes with the helmet.
Too soon.
Yeah,
That one.
Joey says the last one he got was Metal Gear Solid 5 because he needed that arm.
You mean this arm?
Yeah, sorry, Dad. Versus Brian is not here, so you cannot talk to him about Warframe. All right, man. Let's move on here. Black Metal Gamer. So his first question is: how many new IPs or exclusives do you expect to see Microsoft show next year at E3 or at 2019 in general? We're really gonna put numbers here, bro? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not answering this question. I don't know. Who knows? You can't answer this.
I'll make wild speculation that's probably unfounded and untrue.
15 and a half.
I think it'll be light next year because I think they're gonna be drumming up next gen. I think
that put a number on it then.
Put a number on how many games they're.
That's what he's asking.
How many new games, like multiplats overall, like
new IPs or exclusives? Peace out, Dad. Versus
probably between 7 and 10.
No, I think it's way more because don't forget console launch exclusives count on their little list.
Oh yeah. And Microsoft did buy a bunch of studios, so we may see more.
I think.
How many did it show this year? It was 18, right?
15 or 18, one of those two.
Okay, so fuck it. I'll throw my hat in there. 14. Why not? I'm just going to one down.
I'll go 20 because I know Carlos is right. They'll probably show a lot of stuff they're intending to launch and hyping up a lot of stuff. We won't see a lot of it.
Him deal. I know it's you, brother. I know it's you, him deal. Anyway, yeah, but I'll go with 14. I'm not really invested. Who cares?
We got a 14. We got a 20.
All right, Manny, you want to throw a random number in there?
10.
Oh, that's it.
All right, Chris, go ahead, man.
I say I'll go a little above Brett. I'll say they'll show about 25 exclusive games, but there'll be a big chunk of the thing to talk about the next Xbox. So you'll have that chunk of the show where they're just, flaunting the hardware. Like remember the Xbox One show, so imagine that for this with the concepts and the most powerful thing ever to put in your living room or whatever they're gonna say. But I think they'll go about 25 because I think they're gonna probably these 5 studios. That's the tip of the iceberg. I guarantee they're gonna try to lock up some stuff, some indies and things like that. They try to lock it even if it's timed. They're gonna try to do that. So I would even count that. So they're gonna try to lock up some stuff next year.
Cool. All right. The next question. Do you like any Hollywood remakes or reboots? I'll get the ball rolling. The Thing, great reboot. I'm talking about the one from the 80s. That was a reboot of the 1950s movie.
Yep.
The Fly was awesome. I even liked, It. That was good. Actually, wait, which It?
The one that came out last year.
Oh, okay. And The Blob. I like that one. That was really good. And there's probably a couple others I'm missing and stuff.
Scarface.
Yeah, Scarface is a good one. And for more recent ones, the Planet of the Apes is really good.
Oh yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Does Ghost in the Shell count?
That's not a remake, really, to be honest.
It was a shot-for-shot live-action remake. I mean, what else would you call it?
No, it wasn't.
It was just an adaptation. That's an adaptation.
It's an adaptation.
Yeah,
it's an adaptation.
Not a remake.
Okay.
That movie did not have the same story as the previous movie.
Yeah, it didn't either.
They were working that it was mostly about the laughing. What's his face?
Laughing Man.
The other guy.
It was a pretty good adaptation, though.
Yeah, let's not go down the rabbit hole, though.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. By the way, I was purposely trying to pick movies that people don't necessarily think are remakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that. You're throwing these ones over the younger generation's head, Tony.
Exactly. And because most newer remakes are fucking trash.
most
I'd say Jurassic World was a remake.
Oh God,
that was a pretty lousy movie.
Yeah.
No. That's
But
not
it's
a remake.
but it's a reboot, so it counts. It counts for this question.
Oh,
it counts for this question.
Was it specific about anime or anything?
Anything. Actually, he said Hollywood, so I guess no anime then.
Oh, he said how? It was Star Trek.
Which one?
All the Abrams ones.
You
All
like
of
those?
them.
Oh yeah.
Well, I liked the original one, and Beyond I did like. The Into Darkness I didn't really like.
Yeah, because I didn't like the first two, but I liked the last one. The third one was fucking awesome.
Yeah, Beyond was good. I mean, if you think Into Darkness was just Wrath of Khan done poorly,
Oh, yeah.
and Star Trek, the original one, was trying to merge like all such elements. But I think it was a good introduction. It was a good introduction to reboot the thing. So I did like it. That second movie was trash, but the third movie was good.
Oh, Mr. B said Tomb Raider. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, I saw it.
I skipped it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, not remade from another movie, but rebooted in terms of the franchise, Guardians of the Galaxy.
How?
Wait,
That was never-
How is that a
How was
reboot?
that a reboot? It was never
There wasn't
anything.
Franchise reboot, because they essentially ditched the old Guardians of the Galaxy in a sense.
No, Brett, you're
it's-
stretching a little bit there,
Yo,
brother.
I know I'm stretching. I know.
Can I
That's
mention
that's
one
an
that?
that's an
and
adaptation.
remember that movie is based off the current Guardians of the Galaxy roster, so they didn't really.
I thought they changed the comic roster to mirror the movie.
No. The movie roster is the one from the comics, the current comics, not the old.
Yeah,
comics.
but they changed the personality the same way that the Samuel L. Jackson is in the comics now.
Yeah, they did change the personalities, but they didn't change the roster. It's the exact same roster. As a matter of fact, when they announced Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like, they're probably going to pick the new team, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, they're not going to pick the old one with Yondu and all the other guys.
Yeah.
Yo, I got a good one, man.
Uh-oh.
Mad Max Fury Road.
That was a good reboot,
That
yeah.
was a good one. Yeah.
It's a semi reboot. You know what I mean?
I think it's like
Kong.
technically a sequel,
It's technically a sequel.
but it's a reboot.
Later, Miguel.
There we go.
How about Kong Skull Island?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
counts. That
that's a
counts.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that counts. That's a good one.
It's the first good Kong movie
Wait, shut your whore mouth.
in a long time.
I even like the stupid Peter Jackson one. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
The Peter Jackson one
I
just
just-
looked good.
Yeah, but I'm a big fan of King Kong. But I love the original. I love the 1970s one. King, yeah, the Peter. Here's the thing with the Peter Jackson one. It was a good movie, but it was too fucking long. That's the only thing. It was too long. But
You
yeah.
know the great thing about that one, like
What?
the Skull Island section of the movie on the DVD version of it is all on one disc, so you don't need to watch any of the lead up that to 2 hour or to an hour and 30 minutes of lead up. You could literally just skip to the Skull Island stuff and be like, all right, great.
There you go. He's punching T-Rexes, man.
Yeah, he's punching T-Rexes and all that stuff. Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, the Peter Jackson one is definitely the weakest of all the Kong movies.
It's too indulgent. That's what
It
is.
is. It is, man.
Well, come on. Just get them on the island and just do that stuff. You don't need all that other thing.
Quick thing about not to get too off track, right? The original King Kong, the original old school, right, had a scene where the humans were trapped inside a pit with fucking bugs, right? And they said they took that scene out because they tested it with audiences. It was too disturbing. When they had that same scene in the Peter Jackson one, I was scared out of my fucking mind. I'm like, I'm glad they took that shit out of the original one. Fuck. That was scary, man. That was like, that part of the movie was so uncomfortable, man. Maybe it's just me, but I was like, I am not having fun right now. This is not cool.
It was kind of fucked up in Skull Island.
Yeah, but those bugs at least didn't look like real bugs. You know what I'm saying?
They look like big CGI monsters.
Yeah, man. Anyway, any other reboots?
Did Deadpool have a previous movie or something?
No.
Or
No. You could say Captain America got a reboot because there was a previous Captain America film.
Yeah, but that doesn't count. Let's just be honest. That doesn't count.
You're like that.
Does Logan count as kind of a reboot?
No, that's a sequel.
Okay.
They rebooted Deadpool, and I'm super thankful for that.
Yeah. Well, he never had a movie there.
Yeah, it wasn't in his own movie, but again, like that's very loose stretching. They rebooted a character. Like, man, good reboots are actually really hard to pick.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I mean, there's so many, like, especially nowadays when there's so many. I mean, Spider-Man's been rebooted like 3 times.
Oh man, it's
Damn.
true.
All right. This isn't an official question, but I'm gonna throw it in there. Barry Burton goes. You guys already know where he's going with this. He wants to know who is your favorite bearded character from the original Resident Evil game. I wonder who that could be. Mr.
Uh,
Burton. Oh
Jill
man.
Valentine.
Yeah, right.
She's bearded.
Yo, where she got hair, son? All right, man. Let's move on here. Spacey's Pleasure Yacht. So his question is, if you could watch one, so I guess we have to pick one of these. If you could watch one of these dead artists live, who would you go to see? Tupac, Biggie, Michael Jackson from the '80s, David Bowie, The Doors, Johnny Cash, or Nirvana?
ooh,
And it's just
Johnny
from those,
Cash.
right?
you know what? I've seen Michael Jackson from the '80s and '90s, so I'm gonna go with David Bowie.
David Bowie for sure.
Nirvana for me.
I'd go see Nirvana.
I think Nirvana is the sec. Let me see the list again.
I'd want
Yeah,
to see Nirvana. I want to see Nirvana, but I also would get. I know I with David Bowie, I'd get a show. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm going with Nirvana because they're the only one, besides Michael Jackson, obviously, they're the only ones I really like on this list. But if I had to make my own, I would resurrect Motorhead. All those guys are dead now, the original guys,
Did you ever see them?
Motorhead, oh yeah, we see Motorhead. Also bring back Ronnie James Dio, bring back Dimebag Daryl. Like,
Oh, man,
yeah,
Pantera,
you
yeah.
know, damn.
Bring back original Pantera. Yeah.
I would bring back Keith Moon and watch The Doors in their prime. Or fucking John Bonham.
Yeah, bring him back,
Just pretty much any drummer, man.
Yeah, all right, that was a fun question. Brett, did you answer?
I said Johnny Cash.
All right, cool.
That'd
All
be,
right.
that'd be a fucking experience right there.
But is it gonna be in a prison setting?
You know, it doesn't matter. Like, I can't help but imagine that Johnny Cash just fucking captivates a room. Like, you just kind of go into a weird trance during the concert. Like, just the whole world fades out into blackness. It's just the lone man in black on the stage. Like, come on, that's an experience. I'm not saying the other ones aren't, but like, Johnny Cash is a fucking legend, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him.
All right.
Especially if it were older Johnny Cash. Like, he got a little weird, really depressing towards the back end there.
I hurt myself today.
All right.
Especially when I sing Nine Inch Nails song.
Yeah, I can't believe that that they stole that song from Johnny Cash.
All right. We'll answer this question, even though we've answered it way in the past. What's from Sean Watson?
Is it official?
Yeah, it's official. It's official. He gave us super chat. It's official.
we gotta make this official.
All right. What movie or cartoon do you think would easily transfer over to a good video game?
What? That's a broad question.
Yeah, make Thundercats, but not the bullshit Thundercats, the real ones. Imagine open world.
Yeah, if you made it a game like The Witcher, where it was like
that would be epic.
With Third Earth,
shit.
this Third Earth was like this big. You just have this. You're just in Third Earth, and you just have all these different missions that you do for like tribes like the Burbles and all kinds of other crazy shit. I mean, nobody's ever tried that before.
That's what I'm saying.
What if you took He-Man and did the same sort of thing? Essentially, Witcher He-Man.
Yeah, man.
With that nutty fucking world that is, Eternia.
Eternia.
Okay,
yeah.
wait. Cartoon He-Man or comic He-Man?
Yeah, because there is a big difference between comic He-Man is actually has better lore and stuff like that.
It actually has lore.
Yeah, because it's not a cartoon.
And it doesn't have a super gay Prince Adam.
Yeah, because in that one, He-Man is always He-Man, as opposed to the cartoon.
All right, so I gave my answer. Chris, go ahead.
G.I. Joe. I'm talking 80s G.I. Joe. I'm talking like third-person shooter, like cover system, red lasers, blue lasers, except you get to shoot Cobra. Let's see. What else would I do? You know what? I would do like you remember SWAT Cats?
Yeah.
do
Oh
that
yeah.
Yeah,
with the
man.
flying stuff, like kind of like Ace Combat, but simplify it, you know,
Mhm.
and
For the kids.
For the
Yeah.
kids.
the kids, you know. I like that. Modern cartoons, most of them suck. So I don't know. I don't know where to take them.
Facts.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some gems,
Trash.
but they get their games. Like I'm going back to my childhood. You know.
Yeah, man. Fuck the new school. Anyway, Manny, go ahead. You go.
Cartoons that wouldn't. I mean, I
Or
already
movie,
kinda
or movie. You
Yeah,
know.
or a movie that would make a. You know what?
They said shows or movie, didn't they?
You can
No,
throw,
movie-
throw
movie or
shows in there.
cartoon.
Why not? You know?
Cartoons, shows.
Whatever.
Movies. What would I say? Trying to drawing a blank here.
Need
I got one.
Yeah. Okay, Manny.
I'll
We'll come
go
back
for
to
it.
you.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
I think it would be. I would do a Sicario video game. Have you guys ever seen Sicario the movie?
Yes.
I know
think that-
about it.
I think that'd be a
It's a really good film.
Yeah, it's really good. The sequel's coming out, I think, this year.
That one's way more actiony though. That original
The
one.
sequel?
Yeah, the sequel is.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think, man, if Naughty Dog did a Sicario game, I think that would be sick. Man, I want that. God, I want that game actually now.
Yo, they got clickers.
They got clickers and shivs, man.
You know. Yo, Chris, I got one for you, man. Cops. Remember back in the day, man?
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm bulletproof. Yeah, you know. Yeah, it's so difficult. I'm thinking of so many different movies and stuff like that.
And
And
man, just
I
grab one and pull it down.
you know, sure. Why not do fucking Brave Star as like a Red Dead Redemption open world game?
Damn, Brave Star. Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Brave Star.
Hey, man, I got one for you, man. Westworld, the movie.
You mean already the movie? Wouldn't that be a reboot?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Brett, man.
Man, I can't get over that. I want to see a Firefly game.
There you go.
Didn't they have a Firefly game in the works at some
It was a
point?
shitty like mobile game, wasn't it?
I think it was. Like I want to see
Yeah.
like a full almost. I either want to see it in a Mass Effect type setting, or I want to see them kind of do what they're aiming to do with Star Citizen. The whole like, have your own ship and pilot around the galaxy, take on jobs, meet other players. Like that would make a great scene.
Or a
that
Star
game
Trek
is-
game?
What's that?
Star Trek.
He doesn't like
I mean,
Star
if you want to
Trek.
be bored out of your mind, that's fine.
Old school Star
Yeah.
Trek, you wouldn't be
No,
bored.
he
No,
Brett,
I'll
Brett
start
doesn't
fighting
like
Trekkies. I don't give a shit.
Brett doesn't
should go
like
over about
it,
Brett.
dude. Yeah, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm not. a big fan.
Blasphemy.
But
But then again, you love Star Wars, so it's okay.
what if you made it like Mass Effect? I'm talking Mass Effect 2, baby.
Here's my thing. I don't hate on Star Trek. It's just not my cup of tea. It's got a kind of very. It's too calm and it's too quiet. It
No,
doesn't.
Brett, I'm
You-
changing
you-
I'm
you're-
changing your mind
you're-
right now.
You're thinking of Next Generation, see?
Yeah, anyway, we're not going to go down the rabbit hole right now. Stopping that right now. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on here to G. Okay, so the last couple of questions here are like kind of leftover questions. We're cleaning house tonight, son. All right. So G Megaforce 123 asked, "Do you think Sony is regretting hiring Kojima? The cost of Death Stranding seems staggering now. There are just more and more professional actors being brought on board. The game looks phenomenal in my opinion, but the costs are starting to look ridiculous for very stupid reasons. Kojima did that with Metal Gear Solid 5 when he brought in Kiefer Sutherland, who did not add anything to Metal Gear Solid 5. So given what you have seen so far, do you think hiring Kojima and giving him the absolute creative freedom was a good move from Sony? Man, I'm tossing this one to you, man.
Here's the thing: the way Sony works, their sorts of studios, is they invest in a creator like a music artist and kind of let them do what they need to do. This is why games like Gravity Rush exist. This is why games like The Puppeteer exist. They made these sorts of investments. So I'm thinking if this game does what they want it to do, then yes, it would be a good investment. So I don't think that they're regretting it right now. I think they're just kind of still in the process.
Do you think it's going to do what they want it to do, though?
I don't know. I think that we'll see. because again, it's such an odd concept.
I have a question.
It just seems like he's spending a lot of money on an experimental, most likely very niche game.
I have a question. How do we know, how much money has been spent on this?
Yeah,
already?
how do we even know that?
That's what confuses me about this question. He's like, the cost is staggering. Can you provide a link, please? Like, what are you talking about?
There's nothing that's talking about this sort of stuff. Who knows who knows how he's essentially doing this? You know,
I mean,
Kojima's he's a huge fan of like Western movie stars. So he probably, like, when he sees them in the movies, that he envisions them in his own, stories. So,
but here's the thing though. Like, when you use a cat, like, number one, whenever you're doing motion capture, you have to obviously pay the actor for their time. But the thing is that you could pretty much have Norman Reedus do a lot of shit that he didn't do. You know what I mean? That's kind of like the way that, you could have somebody else playing Norman Reedus for a lot of parts of the game.
Yeah, he still has to read all his lines.
Of course, he has to read his lines. Obviously, he has to read his lines, but the amount of time that he spends in the booth is nowhere near as long as doing a film.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think maybe the truth lies in the middle. Like, it's probably not nearly as expensive as hiring these people for movies, but it can't be cheap hiring all these people, and it has.
Oh,
been
no.
For a while,
definitely. But here's the thing.
I don't think this is a Destiny.
Ask Quantic Dreams how much their games cost. They had some pretty famous people in their games, even in the recent one.
Yo, man, they got Lance Henriksen, man.
They got Lance Henriksen and Clancy Brown in the last game. The main cyborg dude, he's kind of well known.
How's that working out for him though?
I don't know how it's working out for them.
Well, the game actually sold well from what I heard.
I heard it didn't get a great return on its investment.
Well, we have to see about that. I know critics didn't like it for whatever reasons, but all the people I've seen, they liked the game, and I think it did sold well in the first week. I don't know how well it sold afterwards, but first week it sold well. But
I've heard critically that I've heard from people that they really liked the game. I just didn't think that it sold as much as it could have, especially for I don't know that video games can really put big Hollywood actors in them, because I feel like it does probably inflate the budget quite a bit. Like, you can make a character and render a character with artists who you underpay for assets already, but they'll work for it, and not pay anybody a likeness fee and hire a voice actor, possibly even somebody unknown, for pennies on the dollar. Or you can get Norman Reedus and do a whole bunch of mocap stuff. Like, that's definitely got to be incurring a lot of additional costs. And like, for anybody bigger than Norman Reedus or anything like that, like, it's got to add a lot to the cost of a game, doesn't it?
But to be honest, if you think about it, Norman Reedus is not that big of an investment.
He's not that big.
He's a TV actor. TV actors make money. They make some decent money, but they don't make nearly as much money as a fucking Tom Cruise, or if he decided to throw George Clooney in the damn thing.
I don't know, man. Like how much did the cast of Friends end up making by the time they retired? Like $11 million an episode.
Yeah, but Norman Reedus isn't fucking Rachel from Friends.
And also, I'm also gonna a little bit of inside baseball. Believe it or not, to ask a famous actor to do a role in a game or animation actually isn't that as expensive as you think it is.
No, is it just so we're talking drop in a bucket here kind of thing?
Yeah, the thing is that, like, this is from my time when I worked on Venture Brothers, and I was talking to the director, and he's like, yeah, believe it or not, it's actually more expensive to hire somebody like a Clancy Brown, who's done millions and millions of different animated shows, than it actually is to pop in fucking Stephen Colbert in there. For some reason.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on here. I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to grab every question here. All right. So this next one is from Beck Hamger. And this question is specifically for Carlos because he's the only one that knows who these people are. Kendrick Lamar versus J. Cole.
That's a pretty easy question. Kendrick Lamar, he has the greater body of work. He has at least 2 classic albums, Good Kid, Mad City and To Pimp a Butterfly. J. Cole probably has maybe 1 at least, for that Forest Hills Drive album. Kendrick has better flow. He's a better lyricist. I think he raps about more interesting things. J. Cole's last album was okay, but I don't think it's better than Damn, which came out last year. And yeah, I think Kendrick's albums are just way more interesting. He talks about like he's like a conscious rapper, kind of like J. Cole, but he expounds on more topics. I don't know. J. Cole's flow is kind of repetitive to me. I think he doesn't sort of veer into anything different than what he normally does. And the fact that he produces all this stuff and doesn't have features kind of makes him not as dynamic as Kendrick would be. Because you can hear Kendrick with rapping with Future or who else? Travis Scott and stuff like that. Like I would never imagine what's it called? J. Cole rapping with those kinds of people. But I can also imagine Kendrick rapping with like Killer Mike or Andre 3000 or Eminem, which he's had done with Eminem. So yeah, Kendrick is just, I think he's a better rapper. He's not a better producer because he doesn't produce, but as far as his body of work against J. Cole's body of work, I would take Kendrick's all day. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Okay, this is not an official question because this man's not here to answer this. Dana wants to know. She's asking Adam, where is her WWE No Mercy remastered? Ask him.
Why is she asking him about that one?
I have no idea. It must be some inside thing between them two.
Well, I mean, the thing is, No Mercy was one of the better Nintendo 64 games. They're probably never going to do that sort of stuff, unfortunately, Dana.
Yeah, they're not going to do it.
You know, right. As much as we think they're classics, there's so much stuff that needs to happen to make those things come out. That's like going out and say, hey, let's get a friggin' sports. Let's resurrect the NHL 1996. You know, or was it 94? Right, Chris? Oh, whatever.
Oh, NHL 94 and Genesis.
Yeah, and then, it's like asking if when NHL 94 is going to come back. It's not going to come back.
Is Blades of Steel going to come back?
A fun thing about that. A friend of mine who formerly worked at Konami, he did say that he was constantly trying to get a Blades of Steel remake made in there.
That's funny, man. Kickstart that shit now.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Yeah. All right. So we'll move on here to Mr. Matt Wheaton again. Do any of you guys enjoy mecha anime? And if so, what are your absolute favorites? He wants to know our top 3. And in any order.
Macross. Macross Plus. Godanner. Friggin'.
You just named 3, so you're good.
Okay, good.
Mine's in no order. Makuros. And this could be any kind of mecha, right? It doesn't have to be like real robot mecha, right?
It could probably be anything like.
Okay, good. Gurren Lagann and the first Gundam, the first season.
Gundam.
Stole Gurren Lagann from me. Can I throw Neon Genesis in there before anybody else does?
Sure.
You can.
Go ahead, Brad. What's your top 3?
Gurren Lagann, Neon Genesis, and I'm actually still trying to figure out my third one.
All right, we'll come back to you.
I can go.
Go ahead.
Mine's pretty cut and clear. It's Neon Genesis Evangelion, in no order, by the way. Code Geass, and Gundam, or the original one.
Gundam.
All right, Chris, go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna say Macross Plus because it's a fantastic movie. I'll say Gundam 79, and that's the same as you guys, as the original season of Gundam, and Escaflowne.
Ooh,
there you go.
There you go. All right, Brett, you good?
Yeah, I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's got to be Macross Plus.
Nice. A lot of love for Macross Plus.
Makuros.
All right. All right,
Oh,
and
shit, copyright, damn it.
yeah. Last question from Fan of Ash. We've had these questions for a long time. All right. Okay, we're only going to do this for 5 movies, guys. We're not doing a whole fucking thing. This is crazy. His first question is, what is your current MCU ranking? So we're only doing top 5.
Current MCU ranking.
Yeah.
From just your favorites?
Yeah, your favorites. Yeah, your personal favorites.
I can't say in any particular order. I'm just going to go with Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America, Civil War, Captain America, the
Winter Soldier.
The Winter Soldier. And I'm going to have to say the first Avengers film.
Cool. All right. For me, and this one, I guess the first 4 in order. Then I just, I kind of tripped up on the 5th one. Avengers 3, right?
Infinity
No,
War.
my bad. I fucked up. That's supposed to be a 1. Avengers 1, Avengers 3, Civil War, Winter Soldier, and the first Iron Man.
Dang, you have the original Avengers over Infinity War?
Oh yeah, man, because that's the movie that started it all, son. That spot can never be
better?
Yeah,
that one film is to this day it's one of those films you can't
replicate that.
No, you can't not watch that film. If it's on, you always for some reason want to watch it. It's the same. At least for me, it's also the same thing with the new Mad Max film.
Yeah, and Pacific Rim 2. That's another one. That shit's on. You gotta watch it.
Not 2.
That shit's on your top 5, man.
Oh, which one? Avengers?
No, Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim. The first Pacific Rim was probably one of the a movie I consider one of the actual classics of the last 20 years.
Yeah, it was great.
Fucking amazing. All right, go ahead, Carlos.
Let me go backwards. Number.
Oh.
God damn it!
Fucking up. He's fucking up. My man was ready and shit. Now he's tripping.
Yeah, because I know it forwards, but I was gonna decide on number 5, when I got there. Okay, I'll go number 1. Number 1, Infinity War. Number 2, Civil War. Number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy. Number 4, Winter Soldier. And number 5 is between 3 movies.
Damn.
I'm gonna go with Avengers, the original.
There you go.
And get that Age of Ultron bullshit out of my top 10.
Oh, hate.
Yo, shout out to Brian, man.
Yeah. Triggering Brian while he's not even here. All right, Brett, top 5. MCU.
Let's see. Deadpool 1 and 2 interchangeably.
MCU, motherfucker.
MCU. That still fucking counts.
No,
as a
it
Marvel
doesn't.
character.
No, MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Deadpool's not part of that universe, dude. Stop cheating.
No, I guess you're right. Fine. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Thor Ragnarok, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Iron Man 1, Infinity War.
All right, and Chris.
Okay, so best to worst, Captain America: Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, Civil War, and Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Nice.
Those are my top 5.
Cool. And the last question of the night: what anime is everyone currently watching? Old school anime question.
Who's this? Who wrote that?
Yes. Me, I haven't watched anime in fucking months, so I can't answer this shit, So you guys go.
I haven't watched any anime in a long time. Though I do have all of Gundam Unicorn on my PC.
That's a good one.
I am waiting for some anime to finish and build up, like My Hero Academia. I'm not sure if Tokyo Ghoul Season 3 is
Brett, did you finish Steins Gate?
No, I didn't.
That's enough.
I need to. I just got to a slow point. Got distracted by video games. I'm still catching Dragon Ball Super once a week, which is, it's just not the optimal way to watch Dragon Ball. It's flashbacks to high school. You're like, all right, so is anything going to happen in this 30 minutes? No. Okay. Wait, something happens in the last minute. All right. I mean, you pretty much turn it on, walk away for 15 minutes, and come back and not have missed anything.
Yeah.
So, I love Dragon Ball. I do, but it's same old shit. Same old shit. So nothing to write home about. I'm really excited for the new season. Has anybody who here's been watching the new season of My Hero? How far in are they?
Halfway.
Oh, tell me when that shit is done. I'm just gonna binge it.
Oh, so should I start? Because I was gonna.
Well,
talk
no,
about
I'm saving you for last. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, okay.
I found Genocyber online and I tried to watch it.
Genocyber.
Damn, that thing is so fucking brutal and gross. I got like halfway through it. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna save it for later. I'm gonna throw up.
Yeah,
I'm getting old now. I can't take it.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, damn, they drew everything. I'm like sitting there like, Jesus, like everything. Like this guy's anatomy is inside out. They drew everything. Like that's old school, man. But it you need a strong stomach to watch that one. Like even Guyver, and I love Guyver. This thing is more brutal than that, like original Guyver. So yeah, brace yourselves. It's on YouTube. You could go find it. But that was me searching for like old school shit. I've been finding like old Dirty Pair. I watched one of the movies, the one on the airplane. Yeah, so I've been just looking. I feel old. I've just been looking for old shit, you know.
Yeah, the good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
All right, Carlos, go ahead. I released the go.
So I've been watching My Hero Academia season 3. Yo, Brett, this season is fucking crazy. I think the episode that came out on this past Saturday is probably the best episode this whole show has ever aired.
How are you watching this one episode at a time, man?
Because I don't want to get spoiled. I follow too many people, man, that be posting like some suspect shit on Twitter. And it's
did you see what happened in that one episode?
It's the same with when Attack on Titan comes out. I was like, I cannot sit through a week of not knowing what the fuck happens next at a time. Like that is just, it's too much.
You're spoiled.
Yeah, it's I have to watch it or I'll get it spoiled for sure. So I'm watching Boku no Hero. I'm watching Captain Tsubasa, which is a soccer anime. It's a remake of anime that I watched when I was a little kid. So yeah, so that one's pretty good. I'm slowly pacing through Gintama. I'm like 105 episodes in, so it's still a slow drag.
Only 105, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah, I still got it's 105 out of 201 episodes for the first season.
All right,
So
I got to quote you right now.
I'm still watching that. I'm still watching Kill la Kill.
Kira Kid.
I was gonna say Kira Kid.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
So you are watching it?
Yeah, I'm on episode 5, I think.
And
it's good. I will say this. I fell asleep on one of the episodes.
This guy, because it doesn't have enough slice of life shit for him. You know.
Yeah, I know. It's no.
Kill la Kill's one of the illest
romance.
animes out in the recent years, man. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's just so much. Like sometimes you just forget shit, you know. I'm watching this new show which is called Megalobox, which is a boxing anime, which is freaking incredible, man.
Oh,
It's
is
like-
that like the
the Crusher Joe? Not Crusher
Yeah.
Joe.
Champion Joe? Yeah.
Yep. So they're doing that, and the way it's stylized is sort of
Old school.
yeah, like or not even old school, like late 90s, like
Mhm,
golden
yep.
era kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So it's something that I think like Tony will like if he watches it.
I
So
think
yeah,
you
that's
you lost me at boxing though.
Yo, man, they got robot arms though.
Oh, okay, okay, that's different. They got robots. You got my attention.
They don't have like. I mean, they have like these like bionic units on their arms and shit.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
there you
main
go.
character kinda
That's the
looks
hook.
like Mugen from Samurai Champloo. At least his hair.
All
Anyway.
right, that's the hook right there. It can't just be some. I'm like, who? Like, okay, I actually know what. I'll say that for after the show. I was gonna derail this whole shit right now. I'm just gonna say I don't understand the reason why sports anime exists, but that's just me. But anyway, Carlos, keep going. I know you got 50 more. You know.
I'm almost there. Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. I'm watching. I took a break on One Piece. I'm still reading the manga though, but yeah, I took a break on that.
You already know it's the manga
The
guy.
manga guy, you know who it is. I started watching Persona 5 the animation and then I just stopped because I'm
You're
like,
man, I know this.
man,
yeah, I'm
played
like
this
I
shit.
watched this already. It's like I played this shit because it doesn't have that much context. Like you have like 90 hours of context of just playing the game and watching cinematics, and then when you watch the actual anime, it's like, God damn, this shit is too fast paced.
Yeah, it's the abridged version, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty much that. I'm watching Shokugeki no Soma, which is
Would you call
Food
me?
Wars.
Bless you.
It's called Food Wars. It's a cooking
Oh,
anime.
Food Wars. Oh, all right.
Man, that shit is fucking good, man.
Yo, is there a character in there, a blonde chick with like an American, like she wears like a American flag as a bikini or something? Is
Yeah,
there a character like that? Okay, there. Okay.
she specializes in meat.
Yeah, I bet she does.
No, but you know.
Wink, wink.
All right, call us another 30 seconds. We got to start wrapping this up.
Oh, and I saved the best for last. Steins Gate Zero. It's
Oh shit!
fucking amazing. It's a worthy sequel to my favorite anime ever
Of all times.
of all time.
All right,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, so that's gonna do it for this special episode. You guys asked a lot of questions, man. Shout out to everybody that joined us tonight. Crazy ass
guys.
shit, you know. All right, so I'm gonna try to get through this. Let's see if it's gonna work. Because I'll explain myself. I have a fear that I think you people are gonna split your questions into these 2 episodes. So, okay, so ask us your questions for this Sunday's episode on episode 187. Do not ask us anything in the AMA. You could leave comments all you want. Do not leave us questions in the AMA episode. I know some of you are going to do it, but I'm just telling you, don't do it. Even though I know it's going to happen, you already know. You already know motherfuckers are going to start leaving questions. As a matter of fact, some guys actually left us some AMA questions in the previous episode. I'm like, what? It's supposed to be live, man. What the fuck? You know how it is, though, man. So, yeah, thank you for watching and listening. Again, leave us your questions for next week's episode 189 in the comment section of episode 187, man. You can leave them over on the chat, the YouTube channel, and obviously on the coalition, as always. Subscribe, throw down on SoundCloud, iTunes, and the YouTubes. Follow us on Twitch, Mixer, Twitter, Periscope, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. Tonight, joined by Emilio Lopez.
I'll see you later, guys.
Chris Seeley,
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero,
See you Thursday.
and Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
All right, people, later.
Later.
See you, everybody.